Class 11th Chemistry, Unit 1, Basic Concepts. In this today's lecture, we shall learn about mole. You know that atoms are very light and small, and the lightest element is hydrogen, and its atom has one proton and one electron only, and this is the lightest element, and its atom is obviously the lightest. Protium is the most abundant isotope of hydrogen. Other isotopes of hydrogen are deuterium and tritium. In deuterium, one proton, one neutron. In tritium, one proton, two neutrons. The number of protons is same, that is why this is the same element. If the number of protons changes, then a different element is formed. Neutron just only adds to the mass of the atom and does not much contribute in the chemical and physical properties, though it does, but not much. Therefore, this atom of hydrogen is the lightest atom in the universe. And how much light it is? This is so light that if we take this much number of these atoms, how many? 6, 0, 2, 2, 1, 4, and you put how many zeros to that? 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. 18 zeros that. Means what? How much this number is? This number is, we can say that this is 602 billion trillion. How much? 602 billion trillion 602 billion trillion atoms of protium, hydrogen, that is the isotope of hydrogen. H would weigh how much? 1 gram. This is so much light atom. To measure it, we use another unit, that is, we use the symbol U. Earlier, we would say AMU, atomic mass unit. Now, we simply use the term U. Therefore, one protium atom weighs approximately 1 U. Approximately, not exactly. Later on I will tell you that what is exact. And this contains one proton and one electron. Mass of one electron is about this much of Therefore, for the time being, we can neglect its mass. So simply what we can see, that the mass of one hydrogen atom is 1 U. And 1 U is how much? 1 upon this gram. That is equal to 1 U. Or in other words, we can say that this much U weighs how much? 1 gram. This much number of U means any entity having mass as 1 U, and if you take this much number of that, then it would weigh approximately 1 gram. And this is very big number. It is not convenient to write it repeatedly in the calculations. With another notation, we can write that 6.022 into, we can write that 10 raised to power how much? After this we put how many zeros? 18, and on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 18 plus 5, 23. We have put decimal here, that is why it should be 10 raised to power 23. This much number of hydrogen atoms, or this much number of all those entities whose mass is 1 U, that would weigh how much? 1 gram. Is that clear? 602 billion trillion approximately. We have taken only up to this. Let us go ahead. So what we conclude? That this much number of hydrogen atoms weigh 1 gram approximately 1 gram. And this mass, we have devised a new unit to measure this mass, that is, we can say 1 U. Therefore, this much number of U would be 1 gram. For the sake of brevity, we can name this as mole. 1 mole. This much number, we say 1 mole. Therefore, mole is simply a counting unit in chemistry, and the region is this. This is counting unit, like 100, or like 1000, or like a dozen, or like a cross. This is also a counting unit. Therefore, this is 1 mole. Twice of this would be 2 moles, and thrice of this would be 3 moles, and so on. Let us go ahead. Here, this is protein. We take helium. In helium, there are 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Approximately every neutron weighs or has mass almost equal to proton. Therefore, we can say that all these we can approximate as 4 U. All these approximately equal to 4 U. If we take 1 mole of this, then what would be the mass of 1 mole of He? What would be? 1 mole of 1U weighs how much? 1 gram. Here, this unit that we are counting, this equals for U. Number remaining same means 1 mole of this weighs 1 gram. Its mass is 1U. And the same number of He atoms would weigh how much? 4 times than this. That means 4 gram. On the similar logic, we can see that the mass of 1 mole of any element would be equal to the number of protons plus number of neutrons in the nucleus. For example, we take oxygen. This is oxygen atom. Right? In the oxygen atom nucleus, how many protons? 8 protons and 8 neutrons. Means 16U approx. 8 electrons also there. 2 and 6. We are ignoring that for the time being. We are simply counting. 16U approx. Therefore, 1 mole of oxygen atom would weigh how much? 16 gram. And next question I ask you that how much 1 mole of O2 molecules would be? Mass of 1 mole of O2 molecules would be how much? Here 1 mole of O atoms weighs 16 gram. Here the unit was what? We have counted what? O atoms. We have counted. And what is the number? 1 mole. Count comes out to be 1 mole of O atoms. Here unit is what? O2. Means it is twice as heavy. The unit we are counting. The number of units same. This was also 1 mole. This is also 1 mole. That is why if the number remains same, 1 unit gets twice as heavy. Therefore, the total mass would also be twice. Is 32 gram. Is that clear? Because this O2 is this. Here, what is the number? Here 16. Here also 16. 8 protons, 8 neutrons, 16, 16, 32. 1 unit is 32U. Therefore, 1 mole of that unit would be equal to as much mass in U is there of 1 unit. Here, the mass of 1 unit is of 32U. That is why 1 mole of this unit would be 32 gram. I hope it is clear to you. Let us similarly find out how much mass of certain mole would be there of a certain element or a compound. We take water. In water, suppose I take 36 gram of water. I have taken. What I have taken? 36 gram of water. I have to find that out. Number one, what I have to find? The number of moles of what? H2O molecules. number of moles of H2O molecules we have to find out in 36 gram of H2O. So for that, what we have to find that out? First we must find out that what is the mass in U of 1 unit. What we have to find out? The number of H2O moles, means the number of moles of the H2O molecules. In H, 1H weighs how much? 1U, and 2 would weigh 2U. And 1 oxygen atom weighs how much? 16U. That means it is 16. Total comes out to be 18U. Therefore, 18 gram of H2O has how many number of moles of H2O molecules? 1. And 1 gram would have how much upon 18? And in what we have to find? 36 into 36. 2 moles of H2O is there in 36 gram of water. Is that simple? Let us further go ahead. Now about this. Second, suppose we are asked to find the number of moles of hydrogen atom. Pay heed to every word. Number of moles of hydrogen atom in 36 gram of water. What we found? That 36 gram of water contains how many number of H2O molecules in moles? 2 moles. How many moles? 2 moles. We just calculated. And what we have to find now, that how many moles of hydrogen atoms are there in 1 molecule of H2O. Number of hydrogen atoms is how much? 2. Therefore, in 1 mole of H2O, number of hydrogen atoms would be how much? H atoms? 2 moles? No. In 1 molecule of H2O, number is how much? Of H atoms is 2. If we take 100 molecules of H2O, then in that it would be 200. 1000, then it would be 2000. If 1 mole, it would be 2 moles. Is that clear? And what is the total number of moles? This is 2. Therefore, in 2 mole of H2O, number of H atoms would be how much? Into 2 means 2 into 2, that is 4 moles. I think this is clear to you. Similarly, if the question changes here, that what would be the number of moles of hydrogen molecules instead of atoms? Then what would be the question? Here you can say the number of H2O moles is 2, right? And here one molecule of H2O, one molecule of water contains how many molecules of hydrogen? 1. H2 that forms the one molecule. Therefore it comes out to be 1. Number of molecules of H2 in H2O. 1. 1 mole of H2O would contain how many? 1. And it would also be 1. Then the total number of moles of H2 comes out to be how much? 2 moles. Water is how much? 36 gram. And now we have to find out the number of moles of oxygen atoms. One molecule of H2O contains how many atoms of oxygen? 1. Therefore, 1 mole of H2O contains 1 mole of H2O contains how many moles of oxygen atoms? 1 mole of O atoms. Total is how much? 36 gram is equal to 2 mole. 2 mole would contain how much? 1 into 2 is equal to 2 moles of oxygen atoms. And similarly, if we have to find out the number of O2 molecules in 36 gram of water, therefore we can easily find that out in another way also, because O plus O is equal to O2, and this total comes out to be how much? 2 moles. It means 1 mole this, 1 mole this, both combine to give 1 mole. Therefore it would be, number of O2 molecules would be how much? 1 mole. Is that clear? Because the number of oxygen atoms was how much? 2 moles. When these would combine, the total number would be half of that. And half of 2 moles is how much? 1 mole. You can find out the other way also. Now let us find out the number of moles of sulfur in 64 gram of sulfur. What we have to find out? The number of moles of sulfur atoms. Moles of sulfur atoms we have to find out in 64 gram of sulfur. Here we have to pay heed to this. So what do we have to do? We have to first calculate the mass in U of the unit, number of which we have to find out. We have to find out the number of which? Sulfur atoms. That is why we must know the mass in U of one sulfur atom. One sulfur atom. Mass in U. And mass in U is almost equal to the mass number, almost. What is mass number? That is number of protons plus number of neutrons. This is mass number. And what is mass? In sulfur, there are 16 neutrons and 16 protons. Means the mass number comes out to be 32. 32 is the mass number of sulfur, and its mass would be 32 point something. Region is what? The mass of one proton is 1.00 something U, means little more than U. This is the mass of one proton. That is why these would approximately weigh this much U. Therefore, one atom weighs how much? 32 U. It means if we take 32 gram, the number of moles of sulfur atoms would be 1 mole, and in 64 it would be 1 upon 32 into 64. That means 2 moles. Why we are using the term again and again, approx? In science we have to standardize also. That is why this quantity is standardized by C12 isotope of the carbon, in which how many protons? These are say neutrons and these are protons. 6 protons and 6 neutrons, and also 6 electrons. Here we are counting the mass of the electrons also. Remember that we would count mass of every elementary particle, means exact mass of this we would consider. And if we take exactly 12 gram of this carbon isotope, how much? 12 gram of C12 isotope if we take, then the number of carbon atoms present in 12 gram of this would be exactly equal to 1 mole. That would be exactly equal to 1 mole. 12 gram carbon contains exactly 1 mole of carbon atoms. That is exact, and we know it very well that the atoms may not have always the equal number of electrons, protons and neutrons as it is in the carbon atom, or even some energy is wasted in fusion by conversion of some of the mass of the nucleons also. That is why always we would take the approximate number, and this number comes out to be how much? 12 gram of this. What the number comes out? That comes out to be 60. How many zeros? If you start from here, 24 digit should be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, this much. That comes out to be this much. So what we do in another notation, we usually write in scientific notations how we write the numbers. We put decimal from this side just after one digit, means 6.022, and after decimal usually we take 3 digits and we ignore others. Okay, that is why we again approximate that is equal to 23, this much number. Again this is approximation. Now here is your homework for this lecture. You have to find out how many moles of ZnFeH2 can be made. 2 moles of zinc, 3 mole iron and 5 mole sulfur. You have to find that out. Next, number 2, that the equal masses of this is a substance X whose atomic mass is given 36 and Y whose atomic mass is 24, and they react to form a compound. X and Y react to form a compound X2Y3, that's the compound formed. Here you have to find out that out of these X and Y, which one is the limiting reagent. I tell you what is limiting reagent. Limiting reagent is that reactant which is consumed first in a reaction if the reactants are not in stoichiometric ratios. Question number 3. Calculate the amount of H2 hydrogen that remains unreacted in the following reaction. And what is the reaction? Reaction is hydrogen burning in oxygen to form water. And here amount of H2 taken or given is how much? 8 gram, and of oxygen is how much? That is 16 gram. Next question, question number 4. How long will it take to count 1 mole entities if you count at the rate of 3 per second? And the last question, question number 5 is convert 1.5 kg into U. Means you have to find out the number of U in 1.5 kg. That's it, this lecture. Goodbye.